This meeting of the Cobb County Board of Elections and Registration to order, and the time is now 3 p.m. I invite all who are willing and able to rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you. The first order of business today, as usual, is the approval of our agenda. Are there any changes?
Madam Chair, did we confirm the special called meeting for the 27th of April?
No.
We
Are you
have
talking
not.
about for the 17th, this Friday?
No, I'm talking about the 27th. The evening of the 27th for a special call meeting to approve precinct changes.
We're still working on, we're waiting to hear from Michael on that before we can firm that up.
Okie dokie.
Any other questions or changes to the agenda? If not, I'll take a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved and properly seconded. All those in favor of approving today's agenda? And that passes 5-0. This is the agenda we'll be working with today. Our next item is public comment, and I will turn that over to you, Daniel.
Thank you, Chairwoman. Today I have one person signed up to speak in person, and I don't think we have anybody online. I don't even know if we're doing that.
No more online.
That's what I thought. And Beth Hendrickson knows the rules, so but I will remind everybody it's a public forum, and we do want to keep our comments related to elections in Cobb County, and you'll have 2 minutes to speak whenever you are ready to begin.
I just wanted to say thank you all so much for all of not only the smooth election so far, but all of the heroic efforts to get Tim Lee back, as well as adding a 13th place and trying to expand early voting, looking carefully at the map about where are the gaps, where are the areas where we don't have any, and then trying to deal with the same thing for Election Day. I think it's great that you have the link up where people can suggest places, but I know that this is ongoing, and our current director is working very hard on this as he's walking into this meeting, trying to keep pushing and finding places. And I really appreciate all of the efforts. Thank you.
And that's it. No one else signed up for comment today.
Great, thank you. The next item on the agenda is the approval of our minutes. The board will consider the following 5 minutes. We have the March 6th special called meeting, the March 10th election night meeting, March 13th pre-certification, March 16th our regular and certification meeting, and then March 26th a special called meeting. So 5 meetings in the month of March. Are there any corrections to these minutes that need to be discussed? Great. If we do not have any, is there a motion to approve all 5 sets of minutes?
I motion that we approve all 5 sets of minutes.
Thank you.
A second.
Wonderful. We have a motion and a second to approve all 5 minutes. All those in favor? And the motion passes. The minutes are approved. And I think we are going to move on to the next item, which is our election office reports and updates. And I will turn this over to Acting Director Michael Dietrich.
That's interim director. I'm just kidding. It's fine. Okay, so we'll start off with our snapshot of early voting. It was a steady, consistent, not overly busy, but just right early voting. Really, really jazzed to see the turnout that we've had, and I think that's a good sign of what's to come you know, as Beth mentioned, we have an additional site. So I think we're going to be looking at some pretty heavy turnout come in May. So it's great practice for our AIP team. As always, they nailed it. We got a lot of complaints. I actually was able to visit a couple of the sites, and they just did a stellar job. So kudos to the AIP team and Marcus for putting on another successful early voting. Good. Absentee by mail. So I try to do a snapshot because the numbers can be a little confusing. So if you recall from Friday, we were at 431 regular and 16 UACAVAs for a total of 447. So once 5 o'clock hit on Friday for Provisional Friday, we still had 431 regular ballots, but one ballot did cure. And then the 2 UACAVA ballots that I mentioned could arrive by 5 p.m. They did, in fact, arrive. So that brings our total to 449. Again, the provisional, and that's where a little bit of the confusion is, the absentee by mail, the cure. It's captured in one report one way, in another report another way, and we kind of run into the same issue. So I think I have a much clearer understanding. And then, of course, for Election Day, we ended up with 20 Election Day provisionals. 19 of those were out of precinct, and one of those was the voter claimed that they had registered by the deadline, and we just had to research it. Okay, the unofficial and complete results. Election Day, 16,538. Now, if we look at Jarvis participation, it's showing 16,537. So realistically, the ballots cast from EMS should be 16,539. But the reason it is showing 538 is because we had one abandoned ballot on Election Day at 4:01. So we're chasing the number 539 realistically, but 538 is the number on the report. So the Jarvis participation, you need to remember also that that includes, that does not include the 2 vote safe, right? However, it does include the credit that was assigned for the supplemental voter from Oregon 05 on Election Day. But that voter is not showing credit on the numbered list. But the numbered list includes the 2 voters in vote safe. I know this is so confusing. But basically, the numbers do tie out, even though if you look at one report to another, it doesn't, but they actually do. So for advanced voting, 12,010, as you'll see there on the numbered list, as I previously mentioned, there was a supplemental voter for Ackworth 1 Alpha during AIP that their credit is showing in Jarvis, but it wouldn't be showing on the numbered list. But we really don't even have a numbered list for AIP, so we have to run our own report out of ePulse. So that's why you'll see a discrepancy of 12,009 on the numbered list and 12,010 on Jarvis.
Michael, I have a question on Election Day. You said the numbered list did have the 2 vote safe votes,
Correct.
and how do they list that since
I'm not sure, but I know they don't have
they don't
the
have an
address
name and
yeah, the
address,
polling
and
location and whatnot.
so it just has either redacted or no.
Hold on, I could be confusing myself. Hold on. Sorry, it's the other way around.
Jarvis.
Jarvis.
Okay.
Jarvis,
That's-
they're not
okay.
in Jarvis,
Right, okay, thank you.
but they are on
On
the numbered list.
okay,
Sorry,
that's fine.
this is, gosh, so much to try to comprehend at one time. Again, so back to advanced voting, the one discrepancy is because of the supplemental voter out of Ackworth 1A. Absentee by mail, you'll also see a discrepancy. So 449 for ballots cast, but 450 in Jarvis. That discrepancy is due to the provisional that was uploaded. So In EMS, it's captured under provisionals, the one ballot cure. But in Jarvis, it's captured under absentee by mail. So one report shows 449, the other one shows 450, but they actually balance. It's just a matter of where that vote is put into the different reports. And then again, that provisional, that is the discrepancy because of the one that shows on provisional for EMS, it will show under absentee by mail in Jarvis. So there's one more in absentee by mail and one less in provisional. Does that make sense, or am I just talking in circles over here? Okay.
Makes sense. Thank you
Okay.
for clarifying. I think that that's important for people to know that that's where those numbers shake out. It is confusing, though, that we have multiple different systems, but they do tie in the end.
Sure.
So-
So our grand total is 29,018, just under 30% turnout. Any questions?
Debbie, I know you had a bunch of questions, but I feel like Michael might have answered those for you. I didn't know if you wanted.
No, actually, they aren't answered. I wasn't questioning whether a vote counted. I was questioning how we could have all UACAVAs be sent, and 2 days later, all UACAVAs were returned on the same day. He did answer it in an email? I missed that email.
Yes,
When
ma'am. I
was-
sent an
when
email
did
this
you
morning.
Oh, this morning. Wow. I wasn't home.
Sorry, yeah.
That's okay. What was the answer?
So it was all tied to that additional ballot that was sent out by enhanced voting, their runoff election or electronic ballot delivery. Basically, when they did that, it changed the issue dates.
I'm okay with the issue dates, but all of them showing up on the 23rd is what I am uncomfortable with.
They didn't-
The odds of that are pretty slim and none. All of them showed up on the, just so happened to have it. All of them showed up on the 23rd. So I get the issue dates with, what's the name of the company again?
Enhanced.
Thank you. Yeah.
So Marcus can speak to this a lot better than I can. Marcus, if you're comfortable, if you want to come up and you can kind of,
Well, I'm
Explain
kind
to her.
of taking him by surprise, I'm sure.
oh, we discussed this, yeah.
This is what I pulled from the secretary. Oh, may I approach your honor?
Good afternoon, Board. Just for clarification, it's a pretty simple explanation. When we sent out the original ballots for the March 10th election, all of those ballots are issued with ranked choice ballots. So when they mail their ballots back to us, we get not only the March 10th ballot, but we get their ranked choice ballot back at the exact same time. So we had received all of their ranked choice ballots prior to, way before the April 7th election. So once that election is called, let's say the April 7th election is called after we've certified the March 10th election, the March 23rd date that you see in terms of them all being returned, we already had those ballots already in hand from the previous election.
Okay, this may be a really dumb question. What need is there for ranked choice when there's only 2 candidates in one race?
Okay, so yeah, when we sent out for the March 10th election, that's the one that had 22 candidates on the ballot. So UACAVA voters, in order for them to have time to get the ballot back, they do a ranked choice ballot marking who they would select in numerical order on that ranked choice ballot. So they don't know, we don't know at that point in time who the candidates are going to be in the upcoming election. So
Okay.
they'll just
Yeah.
write the numbers in. And so then once we have the election called, then we'll go back in and process their ranked choice ballots.
So essentially, the ranked choice ballot is their April 7th ballot.
Yes.
That's how we should be looking at that.
Yes.
And those came in at the same time as they submitted their March ballot. But
Yeah.
at the time, they didn't know who would be in the runoff.
Exactly, so that's how the
Okay,
ranks
so I'm
work.
going to throw you for another loop because I am loopy. So if I vote for a candidate that was not in the runoff, that should show an undervote on the second go-round, correct?
No,
Or
so
not?
what the-
How do we account for that?
So what they'll do is, on the ranked choice ballot, they'll rank them from 1 to whatever, however many candidates they are. And we'll go down, like, so let's say there's 2 candidates that proceed from the election on March 10th, and they'll be running in the race on April 7th. What will happen is that on your ranked choice ballot, you'll rank all the candidates in the order that you would choose, or if it was, if you were able to vote. And then the highest ranking one is the one that gets the vote for the runoff election whenever those.
But there were
candidates-
19 candidates, and yet I believe the number of ballots are maybe 1 or 2 different than the primary or the general.
Can I give you an example? So like if I was a UOCAVA voter, I would rank 1 to 22. Let's say number 4 and number 11 of my ranking made it to the runoff. Then you would only look at those rankings for those 2 candidates that made it. You would see that one I ranked number 4 out of the 22, one I ranked number 11 out of the 22. And so my runoff vote would be that number 4 person.
Exactly. That's exactly how it works with the.
Only if you selected one of the 2 as your ranked choice,
But you would
right?
typically.
You go all the way down.
Typically you're
That's
gonna rank
crazy.
all of, they rank all of them. In this particular case, we had such a large ballot, it was, 22, and what dropped off to 17, but 22 candidates. But typically, you might have a race of like 5 candidates, and so they would rank them 1 through 5, and then exactly as Stacy said, when it got to the runoff, if you're number 2 and you're number 4, if you're number 2 and number 4, you selected whichever the higher ranked one was in terms of your choice will be the one that we would select during duplication for your vote for the runoff election.
So I hate to be difficult. So theoretically, I could vote for 2 separate candidates. I could vote for Sean Harris in the general and then for Fuller in the ranked choice. Because
I mean,
you wouldn't
conceivably, you could do.
conceivably, but that didn't happen.
Well, I mean,
so-
conceivably, you would rank that person, like, let's just say, like, when you're filling out your ranked choice ballots, you have to think of them as 2 separate ballots. So the March 10th ballot, right, you could have selected Fuller, right? Let's just say you select that on that ballot, right, as the person that you selected. But on your ranked choice ballot, just theoretically, as you're saying, you could have, for some reason, put Sean Harris above Fuller on your ranked choice ballot. So we would have to look at the ballots differently because they're 2 separate elections.
I remember very well when the first go-round we did on ranked choice voting for UOCAVA. It was a nightmare.
Yeah.
A lot of people got very confused, and if I remember, a lot of votes were, I don't know why they were thrown out, but they were. Okay.
So that's why we
I
had.
I remain confused, but thank you for the
Yeah,
explanation.
and that's why we had all the ballots. So when you saw the terms of the return date, all of those ranked choice ballots, we already had them. So they're the first available
I
day,
didn't
we
even
processed.
think about the ranked choice.
Yeah, we process all of them at the same time.
Okay.
I appreciate that. I think that makes good sense, and I think it's important to know that we don't throw out ballots for anybody. But ranked choice is just handled as its own separate ballot. It allows those voters to be able to turn around and vote in a short time frame between the end of an election and a runoff.
Exactly.
So we appreciate you guys handling that.
Thank you.
And Debbie, once you have a chance to review the email, if you have any additional questions, just let me know and we can get them squared away for you.
Okay. I'm sure I don't.
Do we have any other questions from the board? Michael, do you have anything additional?
That is it.
Great. Great, well, we can move on. We just need a motion to certify the election from April 7th, 2026.
I motion to certify the April 7th special election runoff.
Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved and properly seconded to certify the April 7th special election runoff. All those in favor? It passes 5-0, and the election has been certified. And I just want to remind everybody, I do need a signature, so if we can make sure we stick around for that. We will take the next item on our agenda, which is old business, and I will pass that over to Stacy for a director search update.
So we've made great progress on our director search update. We have made an offer to Lee Phillips, who is currently the election director in Henry County. It is not official until our board votes on the new hire on April 17th, and her planned start date will be on April 27th.
Great, thank you for that. And moving right along, we do not actually have any new business on this particular agenda today, so we will move right into board member comments. And Debbie, do you want to start us off?
You're going to regret that, I think. Well, my comments are on the mess that we find ourselves in due to the lack of action by our legislature, and that is the mandated removal of the QR code off of the ballot. This isn't a surprise. I believe SB 189 was passed in 25, maybe 24. Unfortunately, that leaves every county election department in a conundrum. And I would encourage, in case any of our legislators have nothing else to do other than watch our election board meeting, especially for those in power who can call a special session, I would ask that the special session be called and they address this issue. And I, unlike my fellow board members, am not in agreement with kicking the can. It's already been kicked enough. And I would ask that we rectify this situation so we can all move forward.
No, I would just agree and kind of double down on the words of Debbie. It's important that the legislature do something about, the QR code. Without the proper training, and the proper funding, yeah, it's highly unlikely that, we can be successful. And I think that we'll be opening ourselves up to risk if they don't take action and put something in place that's favorable for us. So that's my comment.
I don't have any new comments today. Thank you, though.
I want to thank the voters. Hello. I would like to thank the voters in U.S. District 14 for showing up for our first election of this year. And I want to encourage all voters to show up for our May primary coming up next month. And also, I echo encouraging the public to reach out to your legislators to resolve the conundrum that Debbie mentioned that we're in regarding the QR codes. It's irresponsible that the legislature did not handle it this past session. So I would love for the public to reach out to encourage them to resolve this matter.
Thank you. I think everybody has spoken on the QR code issue, so I'm going to change gears just a little bit and say thank you to our team for making it through 2 elections already. We've got 2 more coming up this spring, but you guys did a fantastic job. I think you are really, you have perfected our process in the office in many ways, and I'm proud to work with all of you. So thank you. I think you're doing a big service to our voters. Thank you all. And then I just want to thank our voters for coming out to vote and for everyone who participates in these meetings and helping us stay on track. I think it's really important that everybody's involved in the process. And again, if you have inclination, please feel free to speak up to your legislators about the QR code issue. We do desperately need some sort of resolution for that conundrum, as we're calling it today. All right, so thank you all. The next item on the agenda is executive session, and we do need an executive session today. So I will have a motion to enter executive session.
Second.
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 Thank you. It's been moved and properly seconded to enter into executive session for the purpose of, what's my language, Daniel?
Pending and potential litigation.
Pending and potential litigation. All those in favor? The motion passes 5-0. We are officially in executive session at 3:26.